What's your name?
Phivos, what's your name?
Miria. Where are you from?
I'm from Cyprus.
And I'm from Italy. What are your hobbies?
Hobbies? So many. I like playing chess, snowboarding, swimming, football, tennis, table tennis. I could go on for a while. What are yours?
Mine is, first of all, painting, and then playing cards or some other table games, and crafting, and reading, cinema, and I can go up for an hour too.
Nice.
4. In your opinion, how would meal planning could help to fight food waste?
Because if you plan your meals, you're less likely to have more food waste. So you will have a better estimate of how much food you need. What do you think are the reasons consumerism is responsible for massive food waste?
Because often consumers don't think about what they are buying. So they are in a supermarket and so a lot of things, and they buy a lot of things also they don't need them. So you go back with a big bag full of things, and then you say, why I bought them?
Yes.
And they don't need them at all sometimes, so they throw them out and it became waste. Mm-hmm. What do you usually do with the food leftovers?
What we usually do, like people I know and me, we try to give it to people we either meet in the same day or call someone and say, do you need food? We have some leftovers, they're really tasty. And if no one wants, unfortunately, we throw them away. If they're gonna expire. If they're not gonna expire, we eat them the next day.
Okay, thank you.
What motivates you to reduce food waste?
First of all, because it's an ethic motivation, because I know that there are more lucky people that do not have enough food to survive. This is the first motivation. And the second, because a lot of workers that work in the food fields are not paid enough. There is no fair trade chain that connect workers and sellers. So a lot of people works in so good conditions and they don't earn enough to survive, but when the foods arrives to the market, we pay a lot for them. So it's better to try to buy fair trade foods, and so we can be sure that they are controlled and workers earn enough. Who should take responsibility about lack of information about food waste? Lack of information. Who is responsible of this?
I think everyone that is aware of this and has enough knowledge should take responsibility for not raising more awareness. I think the people who are aware of this could all do more to spread awareness about this. Yes, of course, key people or organizations that have access to media or easier ways to spread this information should take more responsibility. Do you agree with the statement, think twice before throwing food away? Can you explain why?
Sure, I totally agree with this, because sometimes for example, we take a plate and we full it of food, but we don't need it. We are not so hungry, and we taste someone, we eat some things, and then we throw them away. So it could be better to think twice before taking more food than we need. Otherwise, if it is on our own plate, and so no one else can eat it, and we have to waste it. So it's better to think, well, I'm taking food, I'm putting it on my plate, but I really need it. I really need to eat so much things. I think it would be better. How would you encourage others to fight against food waste?
I would encourage, as it was mentioned before, better meal planning, one of the ways to do this. Also, I think there could be some solutions in the community where you don't have to rely on friends or people you know to give food that leftover food. So for example, we could have an application on the phone, and I know this is done in Greece actually. They have an application on the phone, and if someone hosts a big table and invites, I don't know, 20, 30 people, and there's a lot of leftovers, or even less, if you have leftover food, you post it there, and people around in your neighborhood or in the close areas, they can post there that they would like the food, and they can come and take it, or you can have a delivery person, and these people actually pay for the food. Obviously they pay a lot less because it's less leftovers, but it was, I think solutions like this are really good to minimize the leftover food. We have to be creative, think out of the box, and I think we can find more solutions.
Thanks.
Do you think that food reusing system can be a solution? Why do you think so?
Yes, it could be useful things because, for example, you talked before about private person, but also restaurant or grocery at the end of the day could make packaging and or use an application, as you said. Otherwise, they make a notice out of the shop and say, by this time to the end of the evening, we have packaging of, without saying what they are inside, but only we have packaging. It is, for example, €2, €5, and who wants to go, take them. The price is less than the ones they should have if they sell it normally. And so people that cannot buy so much food for higher prices can go there and take this packaging, and they don't go to the waste, or they don't be thrown away, and people can feed themselves. For example, poor people, for example, or people that has no big earned by their work.
Mm-hmm. Could you name at least one thing that you could do to eliminate impulsive grocery shopping?
Impulsive?
So you see something and you just buy it because you see it.
Ah, yeah, okay. The things I talked before. I don't know, because sometimes it depends on the publicity and the advisement that we got from TV, from social media, and so on. They use unconscious way to invite you to spend and to buy things you don't need.
Buy now and think later.
Yeah, buy now and think later, or when you go in a shop and there are discounts and you don't need them, but if they are on discount, so you say, oh, I buy, but you don't need. So the first thing that we have to do, I think, to ask to do more ethic advisement that don't make think the people to buy, only to buy. But I need it. To ask before I need it. Yes, it is on discount, but how many of them I have already at home? Because sometimes, for example, shampoos or some other soaps, you find them on discount and you buy them, but you have at home already 10 of them, so you don't need them. But you have more plastic and more things to waste them.